I'm Nadia Patel, 27 years old, the underdog who clawed her way from a cramped 300 square F-oot apartment in Austin into a full-blown tech empire, a journey fueled by grit, late-night coffee runs, and a fire that refuses to flicker out no matter how tough the road gets. Growing up in a modest neighborhood where the streets were lined with modest brick homes and the hum of cicadas filled the summer nights, my parents, both librarians who spent their days surrounded by dusty books and quiet whispers, instilled in me the unshakable values of hard work and chasing dreams, even when the odds seemed stacked higher than a skyscraper. We weren't wealthy by any stretch, living off my dad's modest salary and my mom's part-time gigs, but we had enough to get by, and that was more than enough to spark my ambition. My college years at the University of Texas were a grind scholarships, barely covering tuition, late-night shifts at a cafe, slinging $8 an hour lattes just to keep the lights on, and a degree in software engineering that I earned through sheer determination, typing code until my eyes blurred. 5 years ago, with nothing but a rickety desk, a secondhand laptop, and a dream, I launched my startup, CyberSync. Right there in that tiny apartment, surviving on ramen noodles and 18-hour coding marathons that left me bleary-eyed but buzzing with possibility. My unique cybersecurity platform, designed to lock down data for mid-sized firms, started as a long shot, but it caught the eye of a few local businesses, each contract a brick in the empire I was building from scratch. By year 3, we had 15 employees hustling in a 1,000 square foot office. By year 5, we'd expanded to 3 offices across the country: Austin, Chicago, and Seattle, with over 80 staff members. My name whispered in tech circles as a self-made success. If you're tuning in from Austin, Dallas, or anywhere across the states, drop your city in the comments below and smash that subscribe button. This revenge story is about to explode with PA revenge stories, and you won't want to miss the fireworks. Little did I know, my world was about to collide with a family whose wealth and power would test every ounce of that grit, and that collision would set the stage for a reckoning they'd never see coming. The road to CyberSync was a testament to my hustle, a roller coaster of rejection, triumph, and sheer willpower that shaped me into the fighter I am today. Those early days were brutal pitching to skeptical clients who saw a 22-year-old with no fancy degree as a joke, debugging code until 2 a.m., with the glow of my laptop the only light in the room, and eating ramen so often I could recite the ingredients by heart. But my platform, a sleek system that encrypted data and streamlined security for businesses too small for the big players, slowly gained traction, each deal a victory snatched from the jaws of doubt. I remember the first client, a family-owned logistics firm in Houston, signing on after a shaky DeMather $10,000 contract felt like $1 million, fueling me to hire my first employee, Raj, a coder with a knack for algorithms. By year 3, we'd outgrown my apartment, moving into a 1,000 square foot space with creaky floors and a view of the Austin skyline, where Raj and I worked side by side, turning late nights into a rhythm of innovation. Year 5 brought elite offices in Chicago and Seattle, 80 staff buzzing with energy, and a reputation that landed me on a panel at a tech conference in Dallas. That's where I met Liam Carter, a 29-year-old venture capitalist with a warm smile, sharp mind, and eyes that lingered on my presentation about data encryption with genuine curiosity. He approached after his questions about scalability, sparking a connection that felt like a breath of fresh air amidst the corporate haze. Our relationship blossomed like a well-coded program, each date building on the last with an ease that surprised me. Liam was tall, with a lean build and a laugh that filled the room, his intelligence matching mine as we debated tech trends over dinner at a cozy Austin bistro. He supported my career, often showing up with coffee during late nights at the office, celebrating every milestone to our first $1 million quarter, a new client win with a grin that made me believe in us. When he proposed 3 months ago with a vintage sapphire ring, a Carter family heirloom, I said yes without hesitation, my heart swelling with dreams of a future together. But as our engagement deepened, Liam began mentioning his family more, painting his father, Henry Carter, as old school but fair, and his mother, Evelyn Carter, as particular about tradition. When I pressed for details, he'd shrug. Mom just said in her ways she'll love you once she knows you. His words, a subtle warning I should have heeded. The Carter family wasn't just wealthy. They were oil and real estate royalty, their sprawling estate in Houston, a monument to old money, their social circle dotted with senators and CEOs. Ironically, 6 months before our engagement, CyberSync had secured a contract with Carter Enterprises, their logistics division, needing my platform to modernize inventory systems, 20% of our revenue. Significant, but not our lifeline. I dealt with their procurement team, never the family, a detail that would soon turn into a double-edged sword. As the first dinner with the Carters approached, my nerves kicked into overdrive, a knot tightening in my stomach that no amount of prep could loosen. I spent hours researching etiquette for the elite how to hold a wine glass, the art of small talk about art, travel, philanthropy buying, a navy dress with a modest neckline that screamed elegance without ostentation. Liam chuckled. You're overthinking this. Just be yourself. They'll see what I see. But as we drove through Houston's exclusive neighborhoods, the private drive lined with manicured oaks leading to their 10,000 square foot Georgian mansion, my confidence wavered. The house was a statement of wealth columns, towering gardens, immaculate, a crystal chandelier in the foyer that probably cost more than my first year's rent. You didn't tell me you grew up in a literal mansion, I whispered, my voice tight. Liam squeezed my hand. It's just a house, but it was a world I'd never navigated, and stepping inside felt like crossing into enemy territory. The housekeeper took our coats, family portraits lining the walls with generations of Carters staring down, and I took a deep breath, ready to face whatever came next, unaware that this dinner would ignite a battle for my dignity and a revenge that would redefine my legacy. The moment I stepped into the Carter family's sprawling 10,000 square foot Georgian mansion in Houston, the air shifted, thick with the scent of polished wood and unspoken expectations, a stark contrast to the cozy chaos of my Austin apartment where CyberSync was born. The dinner with Liam's family was supposed to be a celebration of our engagement, but it turned into a battlefield where my worth was weighed and found wanting, a clash that would set the stage for a revenge I never planned to unleash. Evelyn Carter emerged from a side room, her tailored black dress hugging her frame, a pearl necklace gleaming against her skin, her late 50s elegance undercut by hazel eyes that mirrored Liam's but held a cold, practiced smile. Liam, darling, she cooed, air kissing his cheeks, then turned to me, her gaze sweeping from my navy dress to my scuffed flats in a quick, dismissive assessment. And you must be Nadia. How lovely to finally meet you, Liam's told us so little, she said, her handshake a fleeting brush, the emphasis on little, a subtle jab that stung. My best friend, Priya Sharma, a graphic designer who cheered me through every startup hurdle, had warned me, watch out for in-law drama, they'll judge you. Her voice a lifeline over the phone, but I hadn't expected this. The evening unraveled fast. Henry Carter, tall with silver hair and a warmer demeanor, offered a handshake and a genuine, welcome, Nadia. Liam says you're quite the entrepreneur, his words a brief reprieve. We moved to a formal sitting room, its antique sofa creaking under me as a staff member served champagne, my nerves tightening under Evelyn's scrutiny. So, Nadia, tell us about your family. What does your father do? She began, her tone probing. My dad's a retired librarian, and my mom was an elementary teacher passed a few years back, I replied, forcing a smile. A librarian and a teacher, she repeated, her voice dripping with condescension like she'd said clown or janitor. Henry interjected, sorry to hear that. His tone sincere, but Evelyn merely nodded, her next question cutting deeper. No family money then? No trust fund or inheritance? Mom, Liam said, his tone more amused than defensive, but Evelyn pressed, "It's a reasonable question. I'm getting to know your fiancé." I corrected gently, "No trust fund. I built CyberSync from scratch." Her eyebrow arched. "Yes, Liam mentioned your little computer business tech solutions, was it?" The belittling stung, but I held my ground. "Actually, it's a cybersecurity platform. We've been working with Carter Enterprises for 6 months on their inventory system." The revelation surprised her, her eyes narrowing. "I wasn't aware," she admitted, her tone shifting. I explained, "Our software's modernizing their logistics, 20% of our revenue." Evelyn waved a hand. "I leave those details to our managers," dismissing me as we moved to the dining room, its mahogany table set with fine china and crystal, 3 forks and 2 spoons per place, setting a maze I navigated thanks to my etiquette prep. The cold soup course arrived, and Evelyn's interrogation resumed. "Where did you go to school, Nadia?" "University of Texas." "On a scholarship," I said, proud. "Not Ivy League," she noted, her eyebrow lifting again. "The Carters have attended Harvard for generations." Henry chimed in, "Nadia's company is innovative," but Evelyn cut through. "You're using your dessert spoon for the soup," though I wasn't, forcing me to switch, my face flushing with embarrassment. The meal became a gauntlet. Evelyn critiqued my posture slouchless, dear, my voice a bit loud for dinner talk, and even my compliment on their home, grateful rather than observant. When I tried to pivot to our business partnership, she snapped, "Business talk is tedious, steering to children. The Carter line is vital. Have you thought about kids?" I replied carefully, "We haven't set a timeline. I want CyberSync stable first." Her face hardened. "A mother's duty is to her children, not a hobby." "My company's not a hobby. It employs 80 people, I countered, looking to Liam for support, but he was fixated on his roast beef, silent. Dessert arrived, and Evelyn probed my lack of social clout. No country club, no charity board, her tight smile a mask. I tried civility. "Mrs. Carter, your hospital foundation work is admirable," and she almost softened. "Yes, a Walker tradition, perhaps you'll be equipped someday." I added, "My company's foundation helps underprivileged kids with tech education 50 to college so far." "How quaint," she said, sipping wine, then leaned in. "Let's be frank, Nadia. You're enterprising, but the Carters need a suitable partner for Liam's status. Do you think you're suitable?" Before I could answer, Evelyn flung her wine glass, the red liquid splashing across my cheeks and dripping onto my new dress. I gasped, too shocked to speak. "That's to disinfect a poor girl," she said calmly. "Pay $200,000 to the Carter Family Trust to marry my son an entrance fee." The room froze, Liam laughing. Mom has her ways, handing me his napkin as if it were a joke. Henry shifted uncomfortably, silent. "It's tradition," Evelyn explained. "Startups are unstable. The dowry ensures your commitment, not just to Liam's trust fund." I dabbed my face, hands shaking, the humiliation burning. The dinner blurred into silence, Ethan chatting about golf, oblivious to my pain. As we left, I tried, "Mrs. Carter, can we maintain our business ties?" She patted my cheek. "Business is business. The dowry is personal. My assistant will send details." The car ride home was a void, my mind reeling, setting the stage for a revenge that would redefine my legacy. The car ride home from the Carter mansion was a suffocating silence, the hum of Liam's BMW, a stark contrast to the storm raging inside me, the red wine stains on my navy dress, a badge of the humiliation I just endured. Liam's laughter at his mother Evelyn's wine-throwing spectacle echoed in my ears, a betrayal that cut deeper than her words, while Henry's uncomfortable silence and Evelyn's demand for a $200, zero dowry, looped in my mind like a broken record. Our relationship, once a haven of mutual respect, now felt like a tightrope over a pit of family expectations, and the pressure was mounting with every mile. Priya Sharma, my best friend and graphic designer who'd been my rock through CyberSync's early days, called that night, her voice a lifeline. That's insane. Nadia, what? Did Liam say? I sighed. He laughed, Priya. Called it a tradition. Her gasp fueled my resolve. He's blind. Don't let them break you. The Carter family's wealth-oil tycoons with a 10,000 square foot estate loomed larger, their social circle of senators and CEOs, a world I'd never fit, and that first dinner had ignited a tension that would test our love to its limits. Our bond deepened despite the shadow. Liam remained supportive, showing up with coffee during late nights at the Austin office, celebrating our $1 million quarter with a grin that once melted my doubts, his venture capital insights helping CyberSync grow. But as our engagement solidified, his mentions of the Carters grew Henry as old school but fair, Evelyn as particular about tradition, subtle warnings I'd brushed off. She'll love you once she knows you, he'd say with a shrug, but the wine incident proved otherwise. The business tie with Carter Enterprises, 20% of our revenue, complicated things. I dealt with their procurement team, unaware Evelyn would wield it like a weapon. Priya visited her sketches for our next campaign, a distraction. They're using your success against you, she warned, her eyes sharp. Watch Liam, he's complicit if he stays silent. Her words lingered as I faced Evelyn's next move call, demanding the dowry within 30 days, her tone as if it were a business deal, not a personal assault. The pressure escalated with Evelyn's tactics. She scheduled a meeting at CyberSync's headquarters, arriving with their CIO and IT managers, all professionalism for 2 hours as she pushed major system overhauls, $100. Zero in uncompensated work outside our contract. You can accommodate us, given our personal connection. She smiled coldly, a threat veiled as a request. I explained the cost, but she brushed it off. Ethan would be disappointed if his fiancée can't manage. Liam called after, oblivious. Mom says the meeting went well. Any updates? I snapped. She's demanding changes that'll cost us $100,000 extra. He sighed. She's testing your commitment, Dave. You paid the dowry? The conversation spiraled at his defense of the tradition, clashing with my refusal, his laughter at the wine incident replaying. It's degrading, I said. You laughed when she assaulted me. Don't be dramatic, it's normal, he retorted, his tone patronizing. That night, our first real fight left me staring at the sapphire ring, questioning our future. The stakes rose with Evelyn's daily calls, critiquing my staff, hinting at contract termination, spreading rumors to clients like Harrington Corp, who called to verify our stability. Liam's texts grew insistent. Mom's impatient, pay the dowry, his loyalty to her, a knife in my trust. Priya's cousin, Ravi, a lawyer, dug into the Carters, revealing a pattern. Dowries demanded from in-laws, followed by control jobs, quit, lives dictated. Ethan's ex, Sarah, confirmed it, her voice trembling over the phone. I paid. Then they forced me to quit my firm. Liam always sided with Evelyn. The betrayal hit hard. Liam's love felt conditional, his silence a pact with his mother. A tense dinner at their estate loomed, Evelyn summoning me to decide, her power play intensifying as CyberSync's reputation teetered. Priya's warning, they'll crush you if you bend, echoed as I prepared to face them, my heart steeling for a reckoning that would redefine my dignity. The weight of Evelyn Carter's demands pressed down on me like a storm cloud over Austin. The hum of CyberSync's office, a faint backdrop to the turmoil brewing in my mind after that disastrous dinner at the Carter estate. The red wine stains on my navy dress had faded, but the humiliation lingered, a constant reminder of Liam's laughter and his mother's $200,000 dowry ultimatum, their business threats tightening the noose around my company. Priya Sharma, my best friend and graphic designer who'd been my anchor through every startup struggle, sat across from me at a corner cafe, her sketches for our next campaign forgotten as she listened to my tale. That's beyond insane, they're weaponizing your success, she said, her eyes wide with outrage. Liam's in on it if he won't stand up. Her words sparked a flicker of doubt, and I nodded, my resolve hardening. The Carter family's old money power oil tycoons with a 10,000 square F-oot mansion and connections to Senator Shad blindsided me, but I wouldn't let their greed dictate my fate. The 20% revenue from Carter Enterprises was significant, but I'd built CyberSync from nothing I could fight back. Priya's cousin, Ravi, a sharp lawyer in Dallas, became my next call, his voice a steady guide. I've heard of the Carters pulling this dowries. Control, it's a pattern. Let's dig deeper. The truth unraveled like a hacked code. Each revelation a piece of the puzzle I needed to outmaneuver them. Ravi connected me with Sarah, Liam's ex-fiancée, whose trembling voice over the phone painted a chilling picture. I paid the $150,000 dowry. Then they forced me to quit my law firm. Liam always backed Evelyn. When I resisted, they blacklisted my dad's business. My stomach churned. Liam's love was a mirage, his silence a pact with his mother. Priya's team, including our analyst Maya, joined the effort, her quiet efficiency uncovering a trail. Walker Industries has a history, Maya reported, her screen glowing with data. Contract terminations after personal disputes, questionable accounting enough to raise flags. The business tie, once a boon, was now a chain, Evelyn leveraging it to coerce me. I assigned Maya to investigate further, her findings a weapon in the making, while Priya drafted a press release to counter the rumors Evelyn spread to clients like Harrington Corp, who'd called questioning our stability. The plan took shape with urgency, a counterstrike forged in the late nights of my Austin office, its 1,000 square foot space buzzing with my 80 staff. Ravi advised, "You've got leverage to terminate the contract legally. Expose their tactics if needed." I met with our CFO, Tara, her projections grim but hopeful. Losing Carter hurts 20% of revenue, but with new clients, we can recover in 2 quarters if we cut costs and delay the Seattle expansion. The board, led by our chairman, Harold, rallied behind me. "We invested in your integrity, Nadinot, to watch you bow to bullies," he said, his support a rock. I reached out to Meridian Global and Frost Technologies, competitors of Carter Enterprises, their interest a lifeline as they admired our ethical stance. Tara's team accelerated outreach, securing preliminary deals, while I rehearsed my confrontation with Evelyn, practicing power poses in my office mirror to mask my nerves. The tension peaked with a new threat. Liam's texts grew insistent. Mom's impatient, pay the dowry, his loyalty to Evelyn, a knife in my trust. Then, a call from an unknown number, Richard Carter's assistant, leaking screenshots of Evelyn and Liam's plot. "Pressure her with the contract," Evelyn wrote, Liam replying, "I'll bring her in line." The betrayal stung, but it clarified my path. I met Priya and Maya at a diner, their encouragement stealing me. "They think your week surprised them," Priya said. Maya added, "We've got evidence, use it." The Carter family's mansion loomed in my thoughts, their power a shadow, but I had my team, my skills, and a secret weapon, the truth. The office's glass walls reflected my determination as I prepared to sever ties, my tech reckoning about to crash their world, a victory born from the ashes of their arrogance. The hum of anticipation filled CyberSync's Austin headquarters as the clock ticked toward 9 a.m., the 1,000 square foot office buzzing with the quiet energy of my 80 staff, their faith in me a silent army behind the glass walls. The night before, I'd barely slept. The weight of Evelyn Carter's $200,000 dowry demand and Liam's complicity pressing on me like a storm cloud. But the evidence from Maya's investigation and Priya's strategy sessions had forged a resolve as unyielding as steel. Today, I'd face Evelyn in my territory, the Carter family's old money power rooted in their 10,000 square F-oot Houston mansion and oil empire about to collide with my self-made strength. Dressed in a tailored black suit with red accents, a nod to the wine she'd thrown, I stood in the main conference room. It's 500 square F-oot space, a battlefield I'd chosen. No lawyers, no team, just me and her. Priya had squeezed my hand earlier. You've got this, Nadia Make. Them regret it. While Ravi's legal prep and Tara's financial backup bolstered my confidence, the elevator dinged and Evelyn stepped out. Her designer suit costing more than my monthly rent, her poise, a mask of control, unaware of the reckoning, awaiting. She sat across from me, her pearl necklace gleaming, her smile faltering as she assessed the room. Nadia, I'm pleased you've come to your senses, she said, her tone dripping with condescension. Ethan will be relieved. I kept my voice professional, a steel edge beneath. Thank you for coming, Mrs. Carter, but you've misunderstood this meeting's purpose. Her smile twitched, a crack in her composure. Oh, I assumed we'd finalize the dowry and address contract changes. I leaned forward, opening a folder. Actually, we're terminating our business relationship. Her eyes narrowed, surprise masked by a practiced calm. That would be unwise. Carter Enterprises is 20% of your revenue, and there's Ethan to consider. I met her gaze, unflinching. I've considered everything carefully. I slid documents across the table, emails, meeting notes, the leaked text exchange between her and Liam. Pressure her with the contract. I'll bring her in line. Her face paled as she skimmed them. In the past month, you've demanded uncontracted overhauls costing $100,000, threatened my reputation with clients like Harrington Corp., and used our partnership to coerce me personally. I said, my voice steady. This isn't business, it's a pattern of unethical conduct. Evelyn's lips tightened. You're making a grave mistake. No, I countered. The mistake was thinking I'd tolerate abuse. I've secured Meridian Global and Frost Technologies larger deals that value our merits, not leverage. Her composure cracked at the mention of her competitors, her hands clenching. I handed her the termination notice. Per Section 8.3, your demands are material changes. This is effective immediately. She stood, her voice rising. This is absurd. Our legal team will crush you. I placed another folder on the table. My team found questionable accounting, labor violations, and a history of contract terminations for personal vendettas. Fight this, and those stories hit the press show. Will your community react? Her alarm was palpable, but she rallied. You wouldn't dare. I'd rather not, I said honest. End it cleanly, go your way. I go, many or escalate, and we'll see who stands. She gathered her purse, seething. Ethan deserves better. We agree, but for different reasons, I replied, signaling security. One more thing, your $200,000 dowry, I'm donating it to a tech scholarship fund. Thought you should know. As she left, escorted out, I sat alone, adrenaline fading into triumph. The fallout was swift. Carter Enterprises issued a terse statement about differing philosophies and invitations to their circles dried up. Liam texted, biggest mistake of my life, but I felt free. Richard Carter called, apologizing, his voice aged but alive, hinting at leaving Evelyn. 2 weeks later, he moved out. Ripples spreading Jennifer, pursued business school, others renegotiated roles. My stand resonated, earning a Boston Business Journal feature on ethical practices, leading to speaking gigs. 6 months later, CyberSync thrived, revenue up 22% with new offices and products. At a gala, Ethan's apology was hollow. I'd escaped a life that would have eroded me. My award speech rang true. Success is refusing to devalue yourself, walk away from the wrong ties. Drop a rise if you faced family pressure, and subscribe to PA Revenge Stories for more epic wins. The echo of the conference room door closing behind Evelyn Carter reverberated through CyberSync's Austin headquarters, a final note in the symphony of my triumph that left the 1,000 square F-oot office humming with a newfound energy. As I sat alone in the aftermath, The black suit with red accents still crisp, the weight of the $200,000 dowry demand, and Liam's betrayal lifted like a fog, clearing over the Texas plains, replaced by a quiet pride in the stand I'd taken. The Carter family's old money empire, rooted in their 10,000 square F. Oot Houston mansion and oil wealth, had crumbled under the pressure of my resolve, their attempt to control me backfiring into a victory that reshaped my life. Priya Sharma, my best friend and graphic designer, burst in with a grin. "You did it, Nadia, they're toast." While Maya, our analyst, nodded, her data confirming our stability. If you're watching from Austin, Dallas, or anywhere across the states, drop a rise below and hit subscribe. This tale of revenge and renewal is perfect for PA revenge stories. The Carters had ignited a fire, but I'd turned it into a beacon. The fallout was swift but manageable, a ripple effect of my bold move. Carter Enterprises issued a curt statement about differing business philosophies, their contract termination a public nod to my exit, while invitations to their elite circles vanished like smoke. Liam's text, "You're the biggest mistake of my life," stung, but it was a price I'd pay for freedom. Unexpectedly, Richard Carter called, his voice aged but sincere, apologizing for enabling Evelyn's behavior. "I'm ashamed I stayed silent," he said, hinting at moving out of the mansion. 2 weeks later, industry gossip confirmed it. Richard had taken a leave, his departure sparking change. Jennifer, Liam's sister-in-law, enrolled in business school, defying Evelyn's ban, while other in-laws renegotiated their roles, demanding respect. My stand had cracked their dynasty, a victory echoed in a Boston Business Journal feature on our ethical stance, leading to speaking gigs at tech conferences. CyberSync thrived in the aftermath. Losing 20% of revenue from Carter Enterprises forced diversification, and within 6 months, we'd added 15 new clients, opened a 4th office in Seattle, and launched a new security product exceeding projections. Tara, our CFO, reported a 22% revenue jump, the team rallying around our values, working late to innovate despite temporary cuts and project delays. 2 employees left, wary of stability, but the core crew's loyalty was my strength. The personal fallout evolved Liam's reconciliation attempts, from texts to flowers to a humbled visit, faltered. "I'm in therapy, breaking free," he pleaded, but I stood firm. "Do it for you. Not me. Real change takes time," I said, returning his sapphire ring, the weight of "what if" lifting. Richard's friendship grew, our coffee chats revealing his regrets, his move to a modest apartment, a quiet rebellion against Evelyn. 9 months later, at a San Francisco tech conference, I met Marcus, a cybersecurity founder whose intellect and respect mirrored mine. Our connection was immediate, built on mutual admiration, his response to my Walker story, their loss, my gain, a balm to past wounds. Unlike Liam, he valued me. For me, our relationship a slow dance of equals. A year after the confrontation, at an industry gala, Ethan's awkward apology, "You were right," felt hollow. I'd escaped a life that would have eroded my soul. Accepting an innovation award, I spoke. Success is refusing to devalue yourself, walk away from wrong ties. My company's ethics policy now banned power imbalances, and I turned down lucrative deals with strings. My legacy, a testament to dignity. Drop a rise if you face family pressure, and subscribe to PA Revenge Stories for more epic comebacks. Your worth is yours to defend.